Hi, this is Cam. This video is pretty much going to be just for me. It's going to be out there for other people if they want to see. So pretty much, I want to get into AI. I don't have any calculus. I don't have any linear algebra nor statistics. I don't have any of that math under my belt. I think the furthest I got was Algebra 2. So let's see if you really need to have all that in order to progress and actually learn AI at this point. If I do need any of that stuff, I'll probably learn it on the fly because as the internet is anymore, everything is actually free to learn off the internet at this point. Like there's nothing that's hidden behind anything. Always be skeptical if somebody says, hey, I'll teach you for a price. Always skeptical on that. You might learn a little bit faster, but honestly, all the information's out there anyways. It's up to you to actually apply yourself to actually learn at the speed that you want to learn. It's out there. So a couple of different things I look at every single day or try to keep up with is Lex Friedman. He's an MIT professor. He talks about AI and how it affects the world as we know it. He also has a podcast that he talks to different people throughout the AI community, just in general. I think what I think is one of the good ones I heard him talk to was Siraj Ravel. He's another AI person that I follow. He has a whole bunch of things to kind of wet your whistle a little bit to try to get you interested to apply yourself to other things inside of AI. I know I also watch 2 Minute Papers. That's a great YouTube channel. He tries to go over really, really complicated stuff and actually show you different things that have been working. Like there was, I think what he did was he had a video on using Wi-Fi to actually look through solid objects and see and have AI guesstimate what was on the other side and how it was moving along. He also had a video, or he had a paper that showed a video of AI actually constructing a wireframe of this person as they were dancing. And it looked pretty convincing, to be honest. I thought that was kind of cool. Another person I look into and I watch is Jabril's. He recently put up a learn how to code program that I'm going to look into going across over the next year. By the way, everything that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be over the next year. Right now we're starting on July 16th, 2019. I want to see where I am in a year from now. I know AI technology is just going to be more and more out there for the general public. I know when I went to Walmart recently, I have no idea how much AI technology is actually in the automatic cashier machines that they have up there. I just know that they're installing more and more of those automatic cashiers. So I'm guessing at this point that there is some AI behind that. There might not be. It just might be a dumb terminal that takes a snapshot of your face while you're making your purchase, and it associates your face to however you pay, like through credit card, through cash, however that stuff is. And it associates you at that point. So another person I watch quite a bit is Code Bullet. He's recently been on hiatus, and then he came back and he started showing, like the past two videos I've seen where he was programming like a snake program. to actually be smart enough to actually work its way around a maze and actually get the apple and get stretch out longer and longer. And he wanted to see how far he could get the AI to actually create the worm so that it wouldn't kill itself or run into a wall or run into its tail where it ends up being game over. I thought that was really cool. I know an older video that he had was he created Flappy Birds and he had AI actually control it, where it was flying across and not hitting the pipes. I never played Flappy Birds before. I just seen it. So he just went on and on and on and on and on and on and kept on going on. I think it was him too that actually programmed AI to actually use the fail screen whenever you don't have a network connection inside of Chrome. There's a little dinosaur with some cactus or something like that, and it's actually a game that you can play for a while until the internet connection actually comes back. So he actually programmed that to, or programmed the dinosaur to actually jump, stay still, and keep on running, or squat through whatever obstacle that came up. And he got it. He got it pretty far actually before it got too fast for the AI to actually comprehend, and then of course it stopped. But it went pretty far. It probably went farther than most, if not all, humans probably would have done. Um, yeah, he's definitely somebody I definitely look into. Um, but yeah, there's other YouTube resources out there that I go through whenever I see them on my little YouTube feed to take a look at. Um, so hopefully over the next year, I'm gonna learn a little bit more about dialogue flow. That's definitely one thing I want to learn. It's one thing that would have helped me at my last job. Pretty much, I work in IT. Uh, a lot of what we were told was like, I'm not. Let's go back on that. I'm not a database programmer. I'm not a coder at all. Um, but there was quite a few times where we had repetitive calls that would actually come in. Oh yeah. So pretty much, I worked at the help desk. I fixed pretty much any call that came in, for the most part. And I also was in charge of the video editing software that we had at that company. Um, so yeah, we strive to be a one call resolution resource for everybody. So being with that, I kind of noticed that there were repetitive things that kept on happening, where like on Mondays, it was always password reset day. It was always Mondays. I don't know why. People forgot their passwords over the weekend, or um, people let their passwords expire like on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, and then they're automatically locked out, so they need to be unlocked at that point. Um, Obviously, I could have been doing something else. Somebody else could have been taking care of that, or that could have been automated somehow. Um, at that particular location, they didn't have anything to password reset like within SharePoint. I know there's a SharePoint plugin where you can actually reset your own password, or like another like junior level person actually be able to reset passwords either. Um, and another thing that was actually kind of scary was, and this is more of a cybersecurity point of view, is that there wasn't a lot of verification to make sure that you were talking to the right person on the other side of the phone. Um, we had around, I think it was 1,500 people, where that's how many total people we supported. It was around 1,500 people. Um, that's kind of hard for anybody to actually remember what each one of those people actually sounded like, if not impossible. And a lot of times it was just trust, which was bad, so bad on so many levels. Um, but yeah, I digress. There should be an easier, better way to actually reset those passwords. That's more compliant with cybersecurity safeguards to make sure that that is the right person that's actually requesting their password to be reset. That's just my opinion. I think Dialogflow would actually help out. I don't know 100% how, but I think it's along that path. Um, Another thing I want to get into is YOLO. You only look once. It is definitely something I want to see uh, that I can implement. Um, Being able to see bounding boxes and see what AI sees throughout video. That's going to be really, really good. And just to make sure that each frame that it has is slightly different than the last frame before it. I think that's going to tie into another project I have um, that I want to do. Um, but yeah, we'll talk about that later. Uh, MNIST, I definitely want to look at that. I think that's probably going to be the easiest thing to actually apply and actually look at, because you only have digits one through or 0 through 9, so it's 10 digits. Um, the MNIST database, I think that's already created. It's easy to. It doesn't seem too hard to actually go through that and crunch it out. But I want to go through there and I want to put different things in there, like different kinds of numbers, like different fonts of numbers, and see if it actually knows how to recognize all that stuff. So I want to go the extra step beyond that. I want to go a little bit further than MNIST, but still stay within the 0 through 9 field. But yeah, definitely want to go through that. MAR.io. MAR.io, I think is really, really interesting. Everybody likes games. So pretty much if you don't know what MAR.io is it's an AI or machine learning um, algorithm tool set. So what it does is it goes through. I think the two different things I saw go through was one of the stages in Super Mario World, where it was learning and it figured out what was the optimal way to actually progress to the end of the stage, which was really impressive actually. Like I was impressed a lot, and it was one of the first tools that they had, or one of the first games that they had actually out there that actually did this. So obviously it took a couple generations and cycle runs before it actually did any of that, or before it was actually smart enough to get pretty far within the game itself. I want to look to see if there's something in there that actually can challenge the speed running taskbot, like tool assisted. I can't remember what AS stands for. Bot that actually runs around and actually goes to SGDQ or SGDQ. Those are like different fundraising events that actually happen throughout the year. And the creator or inventor of TaskBot actually runs out there. If you want to find out a little bit more information about that, you can go ahead and Google them. TASBOT. Nothing hidden, nothing shady. You can definitely look them up for sure. And it'll give you some background behind some of the stuff right there. But it actually plays games on its own. Like there's no human interaction or human intervention at that point. I think it's just there to, like, a human actually has to set it up and get it ready to go, and then just press a button, and then it just runs on its own, and it just completely does everything. So I think that would actually be pretty interesting to go through and to learn. In addition to Super Mario World, it actually does Super Mario Kart. I think Super Mario Kart 64. So that would actually be kind of cool to see if you could train it to be so smart and then jump in there. Because I know the 64 or Nintendo 64 had four different controllers on the front of it. If you took one of those up by the AI algorithm and you had three other people that were playing against it, I kind of think that would be kind of fun. Um, but is it possible? Is it doable? Most definitely, if it's possible. So we'll find out within this next year, before what, July 16th, 2020. Yeah, that's my goal. And then different other ROM games. I know there was a, a meetup that I went to where one of the AI presenters was going through and they were showing Fists of Rage or Streets of Rage. That's what it was. Streets of Rage, where AI was actually controlling the main character, and it was the point that they had it at was it was smart enough to actually know when the enemy characters were gonna appear on screen, and it actually positioned itself to actually start attacking right before those characters actually started appearing on the screen. So it was like super smart that it was doing that. It was actually kind of cool. So I definitely want to get into various different ROM games. I think that does tie back in with the Mar.io thing, because I don't think Mar.io is actually secluded just to that. I think it involves a whole bunch of different games at the same time. Um, and then what do I have here? Let's see if yeah, I have a bonus project I want to go into is to watch a video online through a web browser and actually see that it's actually producing images. I think this ties into the yellow thing, where you can draw bounding boxes around stuff and actually see that there's changes between one frame to the next frame, and make sure that there's differences in that. Not only that, but also make sure that there's I think this gets into natural language processing like NLP, where you can actually listen for words spoken by somebody to make sure that that's actually something different instead of just static noise, where it to a computer it's probably different, but to us it's all the same. Like to humans, it's all the same because it's static noise. It's yeah. And then I think one thing I was looking at today that saw in my YouTube feed was Google AI Hub. I know I saw that at I think it was Google I/O or Google Next or wherever it was live within the past couple months, and I'm pretty sure I saw that like that presentation that they had. I think it was half hour or an hour long. I think it was half hour, and I looked through that, and at the time I didn't think much of it, but more and more that I came around to it, and I got it finally in my head that I'm determined that I want to learn all this stuff within the next year, or see how far I can go, because it is possible that I might not get through everything that I want to, but that's good, because then I have realistic dreams that I can't achieve. If it was unrealistic, I would achieve everything, which, yeah, then that's not good. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, that's pretty much just what I'm looking at for the next year, and I hope I can do that. And if you want to come along with me, I hope you can figure that out too. I hope you can learn with me throughout the next year. All right. Thank you. Oh, don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe if you found this inspirational. All right. See you later.